So for this video, I'm going to talk about some parasitic flies we found on snakes. In previous years, we had found parasitic sandflies on snakes in Pennsylvania. However, this was my first time finding those same parasitic sandflies on a rattlesnake in western Maryland. You can kind of see them on this black-faced timber rattlesnake. I'll have zoomed in pictures or cropped pictures with circles so you can see the flies more easily. But I had done a video last year about these parasitic flies. They're sandflies. It's the only sandfly that lives in this area of the Mid-Atlantic. Most are a neotropical species. So I have circled the flies that I found on that black-faced timber rattlesnake. They're called Phlebotomine sandflies. Their scientific name is Lutzomia vexator. And as I mentioned before, it's the only sandfly to live in the northeast United States. They do feed on blood. Not 100% sure if they are actually parasitic or if they're just feeding on blood and dead skin after the shedding process. I have some pictures from previous years of some copperheads that we found where you can see the flies a little bit more clearly, but very interesting observation. So here is a copperhead from maybe 2 or 3 years ago in central PA, which is like infested with those sandflies. You can see it's covering its entire body. The individual does look healthy, so it leads me to believe maybe it's a symbiotic relationship and they're just feeding off dead skin cells and dried blood from either injuries or the shedding process. But it's just very cool to see these parasites on snakes. I've only seen them at a few locations. Here's another copperhead, which we found last year at the same site in south central PA, and you can clearly see the small sandflies on its body. And here's that original photo of the copperhead. The sandflies are hard to tell from this picture, but if you zoom in or crop it, you can definitely tell it has the parasites on its back. Now here's the actual video of when I found the timber rattlesnake in western Maryland at a gestation site with the parasitic sandflies on its back. After I zoomed in, on top of a rock, standing over the timber rattlesnake. I was able to see that it had the sandflies on it. And like I said, this was the first time I recorded or observed those parasitic sandflies in Maryland. I had found them in Pennsylvania, I think at 2 sites previously. And it just amazes me what you can observe with wildlife. You know, you never know what you're going to find. Always something new. And this is just a case of that. And here is the original photograph I took of that snake with phlebotomine sandflies. And in the next photo, I crop it or zoom in a little, and you can see the sandflies much more clearly. You can see there to the right, 2 flies are feeding off this rattlesnake. Just a beautiful black-faced rattlesnake. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. I will post the original video I made of the parasitic sandflies on the pit vipers that I made last year. I'll post that in the comments if you want to check that out and learn more about phlebotomine sandflies.